So the number one thing that is destroying people's self-consciousness these days is social media, and it's very subtle, because you go on. So yeah, because I'll go on here and I'll open up Instagram, and it's not going to be something that says you need breast implants to look beautiful, but it's going to be all these women with a bunch of followers who have breast implants, who have this, who have that, and that's going to subconsciously tell me that if I get this woman with all these followers with a fake butt or fake breasts or lip implants or just a bunch of money, or who's famous or whatever, that's going to make me seem more valuable because of how many followers she has. That woman, there's a likely chance that woman would not have gotten breast implants if it wasn't because a bunch of people told her to, and because she felt a bunch of pressure from a bunch of people, right? Which it means like the whole society of it. So if we're just living in a world where people aren't pressured to do that, and most people are either natural or whatever, but there's not this overall arching theme of that your breasts have to look a certain way for you to be beautiful, it's a very high likely chance that she would not have breast implants.
If you're a woman, I know many women don't like to be objectified. Hey, we're not objectifying anybody. We're talking about what we see every day, what your mother sees. Your mother knows you have a BBL if you're watching this. Hey, what's up everybody? My people. Where else will I be if it's not here? Because I have a special guest. Actually, he's hiding just next to me, somewhere here. And anytime I meet this guy, he has extreme intelligence. That's why I like to be around him. You know, he infects me with intelligence. Anytime I'm sitting next to him, I feel like I'm a smart man. Hey, let me just move the camera so you see who's there. This is Nas, and we're back again with another banging, another banging topic. Hey, listen, and if it's your first time watching this show, you know what to do, and your mama knows what to do.
Your mama knows what to do.
Click that subscribe button and share with your grandma and tell your grandpa to like. Okay? But anyway, today we're talking about this amazing topic called the importance of self-esteem towards young people. It's chaotic these days, and we just have to be very candid. One of the most important things I do in my channel is to be just very open. There's no click and bait, there's no scripts and stuff. We don't even prepare. We just come and sit down and talk. But the issue of BBL has been bothering me so much.
Yeah.
And the issue of hair implant with men, or like knee, how do you call it? Knee. So these days people go to extend their height.
Yeah. Oh.
They do surgery to become taller so that they can be accepted. Jesus, Son of Mary, how can I explain this? So that's why I brought intelligent man, or call it I can call him a wise man.
Professor.
That's right, to help me digest this topic right here. And if you're a woman, I know many women don't like to be objectified. Hey, we're not objectifying anybody. We're talking about what we see every day, what your mother sees. Your mother knows you have a BBL if you're watching this. And if you're a man and you have that fake knee or whatever you call it to make you taller, or you need money to be accepted, then your family knows that. But anyway, Nas, one time I was talking to a girl. I'll start this topic like this. And she was a very beautiful girl. This is before I matured. Back in the days I was immature. These days I'm lucky. I'm walking around people like him, so I feel more matured. And she had very big breasts. I have to be fair and tell you. And I asked her like, oh, this is so huge. She's like, oh, this is not real. It's fake.
Yeah.
I asked her, oh, really? And my perspective towards her completely changed. Like, we were having dinner, but I started looking down on her. Like I was like, really? Like, why can't you be yourself? And this also comes with this idea of like women doing extreme makeup to look beautiful, or black women wearing wig
Yeah.
to look pretty,
Yeah.
or men bleaching. You know, some African men do bleach their skin to look
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah.
So this comes to self-esteem. Like, what do you think makes people to go to those kind of extremes, according to you?
Man, first of all, I'm so happy we're talking about this. Self-esteem, self-consciousness, that's one of my favorite things to talk about. And that's definitely something I've dealt with a decent amount of my life. So, obviously, like you said, the woman had breast implants. People get, they get, like, their new hairlines, they get all that. My whole thing on it is that people can do whatever they want to do. But that woman, there's a likely chance that that woman would not have gotten breast implants if it wasn't because a bunch of people told her to. And because she felt a bunch of pressure from a bunch of people, right? Which it means like the whole society of it. So if we're just living in a world where people aren't pressured to do that, and most people are either natural or whatever, but there's not this overall arching theme of that your breasts have to look a certain way for you to be beautiful, it's a very high likely chance that she would not have breast implants. So
So someone influenced someone at some point.
So if we lived in, you probably would feel better about that if we didn't live in a world where everybody's doing it.
That's right.
For me, personally, like my preference for a woman is all natural. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Is to be all natural.
That's
also,
right.
too, I'm not going to say any woman is not beautiful or anything if she has implants or anything. But here's the thing: is that it all just goes back to the overall arching theme of what people want you to believe. So there's a group of people who control the world. It's a group of about 10 or so white men in the world who control all the money and everything, and they control what goes on social media. And what goes on social media now is that you need this to be beautiful. You need this to get this level of woman. You need this to get this level of man. There's a thing on the internet called a high value man and a high value woman. To me, even though the reality is people see some people as more valuable, that whole narrative is hurting the young generation.
I see.
High value man, high value woman, instead of an individual. Let's say I met a girl and she looked a certain way, right? But she didn't have implants and she had less money. And then I met a girl who looked another way and I didn't like the way she looked as much, but she had implants and she had more money. Who's more high value? The one that I just like more naturally, or the one that has more money and like can flex more?
I think
like what's high value? High value is all individual. There's not like the whole idea that overall people consider this to be a high value man or a high value woman. People, it seems that way, but the reality is it shouldn't be that way, and it's not that way when you get rid of social media. So the number one thing that is destroying people's self-consciousness these days is social media, and it's very subtle because you go on. So yeah, because I'll go on here and I'll open up Instagram, and it's not going to be something that says you need breast implants to look beautiful, but it's going to be all these women with a bunch of followers who have breast implants, who have this, who have that, and that's going to subconsciously tell me that if I get this woman with all these followers with a fake butt or fake breasts or lip implants or just a bunch of money or who's famous or whatever, that's going to make me seem more valuable because of how many followers she has. Where I can look at a girl who has less than 200 followers, and to me she's more beautiful, but if I post on my Instagram story, people aren't gonna be like, what? She has 100K followers? And be like, oh, she has 200 followers.
I know, that's right.
People are too worried about what's gonna happen when you use this. If we never use this, I guarantee you, like if you didn't know about all the women out there on social media who you never seen in person, your idea of what you want would be a lot different.
Very different, and very easy too.
Yeah, very simple.
Yeah.
You see an Asian girl out there, oh, I prefer Asian women. I prefer a shorter girl, a taller girl, this, that. It goes the same way for men. Mm-hmm. So, when it comes to like kind of the question of why this is happening, and why all these women are paying money and feeling that they need to get this, is because some men actually do prefer that. So there's definitely men out there that prefer their women to have a fake this or fake that. Or it's not even just, it's all about, because some women have natural bodies and it's like, woo, like,
that's right.
You have the body that, so if you're a skinnier woman, the only way for you to, like, also sometimes too, women don't want to work out. You know what I mean? Because they can work out to get a bigger butt or whatever. But if you have naturally smaller breasts, the only way for you to get bigger breasts is for you to pay for it.
That's right.
It's just,
and there's a hidden truth here. I have to tell you this. So I'll point out on men, and then I'll jump onto women. So women, I'll put women in a minute in a hot pot first. Let me deal with my men. So men mostly, they are always driven towards money.
Yeah.
Like the more money they have, they think that they are more powerful to get any woman they want, and feel like they're more like stronger. Or how they dress, like they wear things like Gucci or Versace, or they'll tell you how much their watch costs, and that is a big lie. Listen, let me tell you, if material stuff like watch or brand or car is what can make you feel confident, then I think you're a dead man walking. I feel like your confidence should come from you yourself, from the inside, and how you can handle conversations, and how you can accept rejections, and how you can accept that you will never have another human being, which is you, and it's only you. And you have to represent who you are, whether you have money, whether you don't have money. When I go back to women, I just have to be fair. Many women with, let's say, things like BBL or all of this kind of implants, the men are always lying to them. Many men actually will never marry a woman who have a BBL, but they'll just have them for fun.
Yeah,
they want them for fun, but in terms of like long-lasting relationship, they don't want it, because there's something called respect towards men. So listen, if I have a bunch of friends that I really trust, and I have a girlfriend who has a BBL, a high chance of me showing my friends my girl will be very low, because I know they will laugh at me, because they'll say that my girl has a fake ass. But me, in the darkness, I want to have BBL.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? because maybe my mind is also messed up with advertisement. But not for marrying. Bro, the only people I've seen who have married people who have BBL is like if they're already married, and then the woman goes and get it.
Yeah.
Or like these big lips.
Yeah.
And also it depends with the culture, because I know in Europe it's wild. Like a place like Turkey, I was in Turkey.
Yeah.
And literally I saw everybody had like these big lips.
Yeah.
And I like, it looked like a lizard that just came from fighting.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, but I'll take that back. But how social media makes people think that enhancing yourself in terms of physical appearance will make you beautiful, or like surgeries, nah. Look at our parents, look at our grandparents, how they age looking beautiful. Like these days, people are even afraid of having gray hair. Like someone will just do crazy stuff to have black hair to look younger. I know, hey, it's time for us to start embracing our natural realities.
And what I'll say is that one thing too is men's, like the sexual preference of women and what is desired has changed. It will change with the masses. So people used to not like big butts.
That's right.
In
back
America,
in the days, yeah.
Obviously not in Africa.
Yeah.
But in America, people, it was considered better to be like it's not better or worse nowadays, but like having like a big butt wasn't desired by the masses back in the day. Now that's changed because of what the mass people, because the whole culture with the black culture just bringing in thicker women and all that. That's happened from that. So that's going to change. So nowadays, more people are going to start to preference people who have surgeries and lip injections just naturally based off of the fact that everybody's wanting it. So it's not necessarily that that it can't be attractive. It's just that like The problem lies when a woman doesn't want to get a BBL, but she gets one because she thinks she's going to get more men. And on the
I see. Yeah.
And on the subject of men, I'm going to switch over to men. Is my opinion, the root problem of why men feel so insecure until they have something like a nice car, or more tattoos, or this or that, is because they don't, especially at a young age, they don't know who they are. I consider myself to be a little bit more mature for my age because of the things I've went through in my life. Most men at my age haven't been tested to a point where they know who they are and they know their worth. I know my worth if I'm bare naked homelessness. I know my worth.
Yeah.
I know what I'll bring to people's lives. And I know that somebody who's really meant for me is going to value that regardless of how much money I have. Most men haven't had a life where that's been shown to them. Most men go to school, they get to high school, they have this girl, maybe this girl doesn't choose them, maybe choose a guy who's better looking, is on the basketball team, taller, this, that. They get a girlfriend, they go through life, they go through college. They're living a pretty mundane life. They haven't had a life that really tests you and really shows you as a man who you are. So my thing to any man out there who feels self-conscious and is going through a period where you're like, man, the only way I can get the girl of my dreams is if I have a nice car, a nice this. Trust me, it is true that if you have more money or more this or more that, you're gonna get more attention from women. You will, because women do love money. That's a fact. Or if you work out, working out is great. If you're self-conscious about your body, fine, work out then. You know what I mean? You know, if some men are balding, there's nothing you can do about that. You can get a hair transplant. But any man, especially any young man, but any man of all ages, if you're feeling really self-conscious, my opinion is that it's because you don't know who you really are. You don't know the value because you haven't been tested in a way that shows you your worth. Your worth.
That's crazy. Yeah, and listen, I have to tell you, and many people who have grown through like very hard situation, they tend to be very strong.
Exactly, yeah.
Later in life. And I'll say, like, let's say someone like me, I went through so much hardships as a kid. And when I grew up as a man, anytime I get tested, either by someone saying that, or someone actually told me that, so my teeth, if you look at my teeth, sometimes they look like brownish. It's because this water I used to drink back in Kenya had like too much fluoride. Many people in that area, so we had like brown teeth, but my teeth was just strong and nice. It's just nice, but just like some brown spots. You might think that I smoke cigarettes. And when I came to the States, people used to make comments about my teeth every time. And they even told me, one person told me that you can go to the dentist and then they can give you that white, you know that, how do you call it?
Whitening.
Whatever, yeah. And then I talked to one of my friends and then he said, my true friend actually, and then he said, Blazy, if you do that, your teeth won't be as strong as it is right now. Because it's just like a color, which is not affecting your teeth. Your teeth is very strong, is very healthy.
Yeah.
But if you do that because you're afraid of people thinking that you don't look attractive, then you'll have so many issues with your gums. So think if you want your gums to be healthy and keep your teeth the way they are right now, and don't care about whatever someone is telling you.
Yeah.
Or go get those whitening stuff and do those kind of chemicals.
Yeah.
And then have a long-lasting problems until you die with your teeth.
Yeah.
So I decided not to do it, and I kept it. And actually, I smile, bro. You guys see me laughing, right? I laugh. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's who I am.
To me. So I really noticed this when I went to Africa. To me, it's beautiful. To me, it's unique. To me, I don't see it as like. Yeah. So I don't know. Some people can like think that it's because like you don't take care of them or anything, but to me, it's obviously like a cultural thing because obviously.
Or some people will say that I'm like my complexion was more black. Yeah. They'll be like, oh, I can't see you in the darkness.
Yeah.
I like, but I didn't choose it. That's who I am. That's my reality. Yeah. And doesn't mean that now I'll go and bleach my skin.
No.
But I'm so sorry for people who have not found themselves to be strong enough to go through this kind of bullies that you meet outside, because I feel like some people do surgeries and then they regret it later, because if you have a BBL, that means you're gonna die with it.
Yeah.
and it might even cost your life. I heard that sometimes you lose your life. Or for men, you do so much chemical stuff. I've seen one thing, there's only one thing that I really like when you work out. Working out tests you because you're working out to be healthy. But if you're working out to show off, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? I see these gym rats. After they finish working out, they want to show everybody their six-pack and stuff. I'm like, wait, bro, it doesn't matter. You work out for yourself. You want to be healthy, that's good. But don't show everybody that you're healthier than everybody. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is something that people pick up as young, when they're young, and then they grow up with it, and then it just doesn't leave their minds.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's my thing on it is, it all comes from like the root problem of it, like why? So if you want to go to the gym and you want to work out, then that's beautiful. But once you work out and then once you have this body, are you going to go to something else? Oh, now I need this, now I need that, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's not just about having one thing, sometimes it's a deeper root issue.
That's right.
Let's say that you have a girl out there that you really want and you feel like you feel like she doesn't like you, okay? Why do you feel like she doesn't like you? Have you tried to talk to her? Has she rejected you straight up? Because a lot of times men will just go through life and they'll just see a woman out there and they'll just feel like she's too good for them without even pursuing it.
Yeah, they didn't even say something.
Maybe you're short, maybe you're short, maybe you're out of shape, maybe your hair is thinning, whatever, but you didn't go up to that girl and you didn't find out how much she likes you because you're scared of rejection. So first off, you can't be scared of rejection.
I know. And actually, let me tell you, if you have self-confidence...
I mean, you can be scared, but you still got to do it anyways if you really like her.
Yeah, if you have self-confidence, you can get anything in this planet. Bro, I've seen guys who are considered non-attractive, let's say heavy, and they have 100% and 150% confidence, and they will they'll show up with one of the most beautiful women.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because their confidence is here. Because
as high as the plane.
Yeah, that's the plane. The helicopter is passing. It's like these guys don't care whatever you tell them.
Exactly.
And this is what I'm talking about, even businessmen. People who are not afraid of like failing, they're the ones who succeed.
Yeah.
Because your confidence is like, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of what people are going to say. I'm just going to be who I am, and that's who I'm going to be, and there's nobody can stop me. If someone says I'm unattractive, that's their own opinion. My opinion is I'm attractive as I am, and I'm going to present myself as who I am right now and forever.
Yeah.
You know, and as I said, social media is terrible because it defines the standards of beauty, what is considered beautiful. If you're short, they say that you're not attractive. If you don't have big ass, they say that you're not attractive.
Exactly.
And these things are just flesh. Because let me tell you, even if they give you a woman with the biggest ass in the planet, you will never handle it. Sometimes it can be too big. You know, it can be too big because the human mind likes what it doesn't have.
Yeah.
So let's say today I give you a big ass like this, and then tomorrow you see another one. You want the other one, and then the next day you see another one. That's the human mind, and as soon as you can learn how to control it, you will live a very good life. You know what I mean? And for men, you know, money. Yes, money will make women follow you around because there's some women who like those kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean that they will love you. You see people who live in the country, they're like poor, but they love each other to death.
Yeah.
Those people get married and stay married till death.
I would say social media is doing a lot to help people find relationships, but also doing a lot to hurt the overall dating market. Because you can find your person or whatever on social media, on dating apps, on Instagram, whatever. You can get a celebrity crush. You can see somebody on Instagram and then be like, oh, I hope I run into them someday, and then God puts you in the same place with them, and then you're like, oh, that's just them. And then so social media can do some beautiful things for love, but what social media is also doing is making you not feel good enough. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't care what you look like. You were born into the body you were born into for a reason. Don't settle for less just because you have certain things. And if you're also being self-conscious too, can be a good thing. It can be a good thing as well, because if you're overweight and you're eating yourself to death, well, being self-conscious can help you stop that and help you get a healthier body. Or if you're self-conscious because you, like, I don't know, you don't have anything going on in your life, well then being that can motivate you to start doing things in your life. So it's not about never being self-conscious, but it's about not understanding that you're worth something even when you're feeling self-conscious. Get off of social media.
That's right.
Forget the dating standards on social media. It's fake.
Yeah.
You go on Instagram, what do you see? 6'4" ripped dude with tattoos, posing all good with the freshest stuff. Then the next slide is a thick baddie with all the chains, and then the next one is another dude in a rich car. Then the next one is a hot girl who has a crazy body in a bathing suit. That's meant to make you feel like that's the dating market you're against. It's not.
And you know, people make money like that.
Yeah.
So they make money by confusing your mind, so you can subscribe and like and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Someone somewhere is actually ripping off of you being distracted on social media.
Yeah.
Because you know how this Facebook and stuff work. But anyway, my people, I can see the sprinklers have started.
Oh dang.
Yeah, it's telling us to cut this video. But anyway, as I said, I'm always happy to be next to one of the wisest men.
And I'm always happy to be next to one of the sickest dudes in the world.
That's right. Yeah, I'm cool. I feel so
Look at him,
cool.
look at that guy.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Please don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you like it. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Thank you, bro.